Sudah, Pak.
Sudah mulai ya. So we can start now.
Okay, thank you very much. Great. Just hang on. All right. So we start now. Thank you very much, Vidya. Good morning to everyone at UNS. You know, and good morning to Dr. Madiana, who is I think the Dean of UNS. Good morning. And also to a few of the personnel. Yes.
Wait a minute. Maybe there will be opening speech from the dean. There will be opening ceremony and.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Great. That's what that will be wonderful.
So, master of ceremony will guide us. Okay. Wait.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Go.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat sejahtera bagi kita semua. Salam Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Yang terhormat Bapak Dr. Mardiana MSI selaku Dekan UNS. Yang terhormat Bapak Dr. Narwo SPD MSI selaku Kepala Program Studi S1 Budaya FK UNS. Yang terhormat Bapak Profesor Dr. Narwo SH selaku Kepala Program Studi S2 BPK FKUNS. Yang terhormat Asosiat Profesor Dr. Pauline selaku Lecturer dan AI dan Harvard University Malaysia. Serta yang saya hormati seluruh mahasiswa PPKN S1 dan S2 FKUNS yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama, marilah kita panjatkan puja puji syukur kehadiran Tuhan Yang Maha Esa yang selalu senantiasa melimpahkan rahmat, taufik serta hidayahnya, sehingga pada kesempatan yang bahagia itu kita masih diberikan nikmat sehat, nikmat rezeki, sehingga kita bisa bertemu pada hari ini dalam acara International Guest Lecture dengan tema How to be a Sustainable Teacher. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, izinkan saya Pauline selaku pembawa acara membacakan susunan acara kita hari ini. Yang pertama yaitu pembukaan, kedua menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya, ketiga sambutan, keempat acara inti, dan yang terakhir penutup. Baik, untuk mengawali acara kita pada hari ini, mari kita berdoa sesuai agama dan masing-masing. Berdoa di bersama. Berdoa kami cukup. Baik. Acara selanjutnya adalah menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya. Untuk itu kepada Dirjen yang maju ke depan serta panitia tugas bersilakan. Acara selanjutnya yakni sambutan yang akan disampaikan oleh Bapak Dr. Mardiana MSI selaku Dekan FKUNS. Ini kepada Bapak Dr. Mardiana.
Let's see whether what you saw in that 3.5 minutes is similar to what I saw or not. Okay? Did you see that now there is this interconnectedness of people and businesses across the world that eventually will lead to a global, cultural, political, and economic integration? Did you see that? Did you see that happening even in your life right now? You know, because of this interconnectedness, that there is a integration of economy, political, and even cultures. Yeah, did you see that? Because I saw that, you know, because there is now a flexibility now for us to move and communicate, you know, easily with others all over the world in order to conduct training, businesses internationally, just like what we are doing now, right? I also saw that the world, if you agree with me, I also saw that our world is becoming very small. It's becoming very compressed, because of the ability for us to move and communicate easily. But more importantly, when it comes to education, I find that globalization has a very close relationship with education. When you saw the part, when you saw the video, the last few minutes, the YouTube video talked about students must have be able to solve real world problems, right? Students must have problem solving skills. Do remember that where we are now, where you are now, you young people, right? It is not that you teach your students, today I'm going to teach you how to solve problems. And then, okay, bye-bye, goodbye, that's it. It doesn't work that way, right? You need to know that they are able to use it, able to sustain that in this globalized world. Because students are, like your video say, we are hyper-connected. New communication technologies have allowed you and I to connect globally. And many of you, I think if not almost all of you, have already moved out of your state. And for some of you, you would have already gone overseas, out of your own country. If not now, you will soon be going out of your country before you even graduate from UNS, right? So what we are trying to say in this video is that there is an unprecedented levels of international movement, cooperation, and globalization has affected you and I, you especially as a student, not only on the local or national level, but international level. And you as future teachers must be preparing yourself and your students for this new reality. Now, I also believe in the 4 A's. I call it the 4 A's. From my own readings and from my own research, I realized that we all need to be able to access, mencapai pengetahuan. We need to be able to access knowledge. After you access the knowledge, you need to be able to assess, menilai that pengetahuan. As mature adults, as mature students, you need to be able to assess the knowledge. After you have access, you need to do what? You need to adopt that knowledge which you think is relevant to you and to your students. And finally, you must be able to apply. You must be able to think independently to be able to exercise appropriate judgment based on the 4 A's. So with that 4 A's, then you can cooperate with your peers, you can collaborate. And you know what's difficult for you as teachers, future teachers? You need to be able to make sense of this new situation yourself, you need to make sense of this new situation and to help your students make sense of that situation also. Okay, so, and what I saw also is that globalization is connected with education through global activities. One of them is this. Now, why did UNS have this international lecture series? Why? Why? Because it is part of the internationalization of universities. It is about creating new opportunities for partnership in research and teaching. And you're thinking, how is that connected to long term? It is, right? It is, because right now, all of us cannot be in the silo. I don't know whether you have heard of this Malay proverb, katak di bawah tempurung. I'm not sure whether you use that also. Katak di bawah tempurung. We are no more katak di bawah tempurung. It's like a frog under a coconut shell, living in a silo. We can't anymore, right? We need to be exposed. We need to cross borders, isn't it? And Where does it start? You who are now in the universities. And you will realize that in the future, your universities and other universities in the world are no more taught only for the young people, but for people of all ages. Why? If it's why do you need it for all ages? I think among you, I think you're all very young, but among you, I'm sure there are some of you who are mature age, who are above 25, who are even 30, who are 40. What's wrong with that? Who wants to further their education and have that motivation to want to learn. And it is important that we encourage people of all ages to come back to learn, to notice issues, to have their social experience or involve in volunteerism and other activities. Then only they are able to expand their mindset. I think tomorrow I will be showing some policies that your country, Indonesia, has implemented to push forward globalization and sustainability. It is really progressive. I think your country is very progressive in this. It is like through this university, through this type of lecture, I realized that you all really want to be much faster and very aggressive in what's happening now globally, and that's really good. You are now. It is important to accept that universities are the place, to contribute to society from a long-term perspective. So you are students, right? You are students right now. You know that when you go out, you're going to be able to educate your students, because your students are going to be impacted by globalization through their job market. Now I'm not sure about UNS, but I know that my own university and many universities in Malaysia have got programs that look at global education, international relations and management, or even if they don't have, subjects like geography, subjects like languages have now started to have more globally oriented syllabuses, globally oriented topics. Okay, so it is now very crucial for you to be prepared, and also crucial for you to prepare your students for these international realities. Because these international realities is not going to go away. Yeah. With the power of internet, with the power of easy communication, do you really think that internationalization will go away? I don't think so. Yeah, it will not go away. It will even become greater impact in the world. I was just telling Prof. Trianto just now. I think that the COVID, the pandemic, the 2 years, of course, many bad things happen. But it was through this COVID that we have leapfrogged very fast and very quickly into this communication through internet. The technology became very fast. Everyone quickly invested heavily in technology so that we are able to communicate, able to learn through like this. I'm sitting here many, many miles away from you, but yet I know you're all there. It's just that I cannot see your face very clearly, but you're all there. Semua di sini. It's like I'm there. It's just I'm there. Macam saya di situ bersama-sama dengan pelajar-pelajar. Okay. Maybe it's also time for me to just talk a little bit about the globalization realities. Okay. Let me see the next slide. Oops, why can't my next slide go? Wait, what did I do? Okay, I won't do this video right now. I'm just going to go to the next slide, right? that slide was also another 2 minutes. It shows that all the good things about globalization, it shows about how education is a very vital, because I'm going to talk about a little bit about the pro and con, isn't it? So that video, which I don't want to show. Miss Vidya, can I ask you something? Just now when I showed the video, was it clear?
Your sound is not clear, Miss Jo. I think, and then Miss Go share screen, not sure is the.
So the
real-
video not clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's okay that I won't show that video, so I'll just carry on. So the video which this video which I wanted to show, it's okay. Maybe I'll give you this link. You all can take a look at it later, But this video showed about all the rather good things about globalization. Okay, so probably we also need to have 2 views. So the good things about globalization is that it says that, education is a very important component of young people's progress in the era of globalization. Okay. According to Amartya Sen, he's an Indian nationalist. He is from India. He's from India. He's also the 1998 Nobel Prize winner for economic sciences. Okay, according to Amartya Sen, he did his research and he found that many countries have moved from low to higher incomes when it came to globalization in the 1990s. Okay, he gave example of Singapore. He gave example of South Korea. He gave example of Ireland. They advanced so quickly when globalization happened because they had a very strong commitment to education at all levels. So that's something that I think countries like Indonesia and even Malaysia, because Indonesia and Malaysia are known as developing countries. We haven't come to the word developed country yet, but maybe we should learn from history that one of the way is a strong commitment to education, which I think Indonesia has a very strong commitment to education, Then, according to Amartya Sen, others who have done moderately well are like Chile, Mauritius, They looked at countries like Singapore, South Korea, Ireland, and they're following that path. And then, looking back, he found that Japan also developed very quickly because they also built on their education. And of course, needless to say, even way back in the 1990s, Amartya Sen and another economist by the name of Michael Sullivan, I think, they predicted even in the 1990s that it will be China, which will have a very highly literate population. In the 1990s, we didn't think that China would have a highly literate population, but they are having it now. Why? Through their very effective primary and secondary education. They just became very quick. There's a story. I have students, right? Saya ada pelajar PhD dari China. So saya banyak belajar dari mereka jugalah tentang negara mereka, I found something very amazing about what their Ministry of Education is doing. So this is learning. Malaysia doesn't have that, but they are doing it. They are aggressively promoting it. They called it the Family Education Policy. Imagine that. They started in 2010, not too long ago, only about 10 over years ago, family education. So when my student told me about family education, the first thing I think was, oh, they're going to move father, mother back to school. No, it's not like that. Not bringing them to school, but they want the parents or their guardians to be involved in their children's education. Because before this policy came, according to my student in China, the parents always depend on the school to educate their children. And they saw that children sometimes do not complete their education, did not finish. So now with their new policy called family education, parents are now going to be asked to be involved in their children's education. They're going to create events and programs for parents to be involved in their children's education. So it's because of this policy that China, the population now in China is very highly literate. And to make it more amazing, they make English as the major foreign language to learn. Okay, so that's how they are now leapfrogging in terms of education. So even Amartya Sen already predicted during the 1990s that China will see a leap in their education, their proficiency, their literacy, will be a very highly literate population. So even Malaysia hasn't really come to that stage of asking parents to be involved. We have parents-teacher association. Like I think Indonesia school also have parent-teacher association, but not to the point of it becoming a policy that parents must be involved in their children's education. And they have events and programs for that. Okay, so what we're saying is globalization has heightened, our own knowledge, the importance of the 4 A's, knowledge, being able to access, assess, adopt, and apply knowledge will be the key factor for every country to benefit from globalization. So Amartya Sen and other researchers have made some research, and they have found that if the country only have population that is primary level, will normally have low skilled population. All right. But according to these economists, they say that even with primary level education, it is better than no education to move people from very low to low productivity, even better than no education. Now, this is my personal experience of going to Aceh. Yeah, going to Aceh in north of Sumatra, isn't it? You can find that in Aceh, I realized that after I went there for three trips because of it was a collaboration thing. I realized that the people in Aceh are so very hungry for knowledge, people. Your countrymen, hungry for knowledge. They are so eager to learn. And I went there under a foundation, and we went there to prepare and train the teachers to go out into the more rural areas of Aceh. The teachers there were so eager to learn new things so that they can take it out to the rural areas to educate the students. It's amazing, actually. I do not know about your state or your part in Java. I'm not sure how is it that you all penetrate the rural areas, but I know I saw it personally how Aceh is so aggressive in education for its people there, So yes, what I'm trying to say in what the video is trying to say is that education is very important, yeah? And you are most important people right now. Tomorrow we look at how you can be a sustainable teacher or how you can help your students to be a sustainable learner. But you need to understand where it's coming from, why you need to be ready, because the world is so small right now. However, yeah, we come back to the globalization sometimes opens up, although it opens up opportunities to people, it also will expand inequalities between countries. Okay, some countries will be much faster, and sometimes they think that they can be more dominant towards another country. Okay, this economist, Michael Sullivan, I took something from his talk actually. It was a very good talk. If I can find the site, I will give it to you. He talked that, mentioned that in the 1990s, globalization took hold, yeah? Many good things happened during 1990s globalization, many good things. Countries that were really poor, I mean, he quoted countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, which were very poor, were able to compete with other countries because of globalization, and other countries that were richer had this value to help other countries. Because of globalization, they wanted to make sure that everyone got the same benefit compared to the more richer country, right? So in the 1990s, things happened. Countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh became better economically. There were students who were going to school, you know, countries like even Malaysia, Indonesia were part of this global united front. Then he mentioned that later, as the years go on, came the financial fallout, you know, the economic financial fallout, 1997 to 2008 financial fallout. When the financial fallout came, everyone could see which country were becoming richer and which country were less, there were poverty in that country. And sadly, he said that it became like, I am richer, so you need to borrow from me, right? I will give you the money for you to develop. Some of the values, he's saying, started to fall. The richer countries became more, well, I don't know what to say, greedy, you know, and started to dominate the poorer countries. Okay, so he said that's what's happening. He's seeing that happening right now. So what he's saying that is that we need to build a new world order. He called it the new world order. Still on globalization, because we cannot run away from each other now, but we need to have a new world order. And he is saying that the younger country, you know, with large population, but young, like he quoted like Indonesia, he quoted Cambodia, he quoted these countries that seems to be a bit behind compared to the other richer country. He is saying that these countries, you know, with the young population, can come up with a new world order values among yourselves to share, to tell that, look, this is what we can do right now. This is what we can share with you all, not just taking from you. Okay, so probably he's trying to say that the good value during the 1990s of globalization has somewhat gone yellowing, and he's asking the younger countries to come out and create your own new values, right? So that you won't be, so that we are not going to be, that we have our own skilled and competent workers to drive our own economy and our own social development, and not always taking it from the so-called more richer economies. You know, that's what he's trying to say. So in a way, globalization doesn't necessarily mean there's always a good thing, right? There's always a pro and con. But we as learned people, the 4A, assess, right? Assess and then access, adopt what's relevant, and apply what's relevant to us. Okay, I think that's what the takeaway from this economies. Okay, so yeah, next slide will be, I actually wanted this part to be a two-way thing, you know. What do you think about the impact of globalization, education from your perspective, from your own life in your country? I really want to know. Do you think we can, Vidya? Do you think they have a chance to say something? Do they have a chance to say something? Is that possible? Yeah, is that possible? I just want to check with you first.
Yeah.
Is it possible for some of them who's sitting there now to give their own voice about the impact of globalization on education on them?
Okay.
Would anyone want to volunteer? What do they have to do? They have come to the mic, is it?
Oke, bisa. Mungkin dari teman-teman ada yang bisa memberikan tanggapan atau argumennya.
Ada siapa-siapa yang boleh berkongsi pengalaman tentang impak globalization kepada pendidikan dari segi persendirian, dari segi apa yang dari segi persendirian, dari segi pendidikan sendiri, dari segi secara pelajar-pelajar di masa di sekolah, nampak apa yang ternampak di sekeliling, your environment. Do you have anyone? Anyone, or are they too shy? Don't force them,
Wait a minute, Miss Go. Maybe one of students.
Don't force them. Don't force them. If they are shy, don't force them. Ada sesiapa tak? Tak ada.
Mas Yarul, Mbak Wahyu, Mbak Prasasti, maybe.
Saya rasa ya mungkin ini dalam dewa besar mereka ada.
Pelan-pelan, bahasa Indonesia pelan-pelan. Ya,
Okay, please.
Very good.
Ya,
Boleh.
Prasasti.
Mungkin agak ke depan ya, biar suaranya terdengar oleh Miss Go.
Ada. Oh, langsung.
Oh, very good. Excellent. May I know your name? May I know your name?
Ya, Mbak Prasasti bisa memperkenalkan diri, mic-nya dari sini. Bisa.
I'm going to stop share so I can see you clearer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can I know your name?
Pelan-pelan. Ulang dulu.
Saya ingin menjawab terkait bagaimana dampak dari globalisasi khususnya pada pendidikan. Mungkin dari dampaknya globalisasi mungkin kita lihat dengan teknologi ya. Dengan adanya teknologi mungkin siswa itu banyak belajar di lain di sekolah karena mungkin dengan adanya internet itu siswa bisa mencapai mungkin mencari
Prasasti bisa tidak maju mungkin biar bisa lebih
Tak dengar sangat, Miss Vidya. Maybe after you just summarize for me because I cannot hear correctly.
Okay.
I can see her. Hello. I can see her face now. That's nice. You are Miss?
Oke, terima kasih. Perkenalkan, nama saya Prof. Pauline. Mungkin di sini saya izin menjawab terkait pertanyaan tadi, bagaimana dampak dari globalisasi. Mungkin dari pandangan saya, dari dampak globalisasi, khususnya dalam pendidikan itu, siswa lebih mudah dalam mencari informasi yang tidak hanya diajarkan di sekolah. Namun secara dampak negatifnya itu dengan globalisasi yang sekarang ini, internet yang mudah dijangkau, jadi tidak ada batasan bagi siswa gitu. Mungkin bisa mencari hal-hal yang seharusnya tidak mereka tahu. Jadinya dengan adanya internet mereka jadi tahu terkait batasan tersebut yang seharusnya mereka tidak tahu. Gitu. Mungkin dari saya cukup.
Wait, jangan lari dulu. Jangan lari. Very good. Very good. Tapi saya nak tanya balik. So sekarang ini Miss kata semua impak dia bagus, right? Tetapi dari segi personal, ada tak you rasa ada yang globalisasi internet pun ada, isu-isunya
Mungkin
yang tak semestinya sebagus yang kamu rasa.
Mohon maaf, dapat diulangi karena saya kurang paham pertanyaan.
Is there any like, you know, like any, maybe Vidya, you can translate any cons, like she's talking about good things, right? Is there anything that she feels personally that not that great actually, you know, not that great in her personal life?
Hal yang berasa salah dengan dampak globalisasi itu.
Mungkin dari saya ada kesalahan kurangnya pembinaan dari orang tua ataupun dari guru gitu mungkin.
Yes, correct. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Terima kasih kerana sudi datang ke depan. Yes, very good. Miss Vidya, can I have another opinion? It's very good. Mungkin kita ada lagi ya pandangan daripada orang lain dalam kelas ini. Mesti ada. Saya rasa this group they love to talk. Saya nak nampak macam lain. Jangan segan. Don't be afraid, you know, to talk about things that, don't be afraid to be criticized. Jangan takut untuk mengkritikkan, you know, secara yang konstruktif. Jangan don't be shy about criticizing something that you think is important. Ada lagi tak? Mungkin lelaki sekarang nak dengar pandangan dia kan? Semua dah tunduk kepala.
Silakan dari teman-teman.
Anybody?
Orang.
Don't force them. Maybe they're shy.
Ini ya.
Tak ada.
Silakan.
Ya, ini pelajar mesti ingat ya. You are future teachers. You know, you must be. You need to have that courage to come out in front and talk. Sebagai cikgu kan. Tak ada. Okay, never mind. We give. Don't force them.
Berbicara di depan yuk. Siapa
yang ada pandangan? Tak ada siapa lagi pandangan. Tak ada. It's okay, Miss Vidya.
Okay. Mungkin
It's okay.
Mbak Wahyu.
Alright, maybe kita ada, very good, bagus. Cikgu siapa ni?
Ada. Oh, bahasa Indonesia.
Cikgu siapa?
Boleh.
Baik, perkenalkan sebelumnya saya Wahyu Musmitasari. Menurut pandangan saya tentang dampak globalisasi terhadap pendidikan, memudahkan untuk mencari relasi antar teman sehingga pengetahuan itu cepat berkembang, cepat mudah untuk diketahui gitu. Lalu untuk dampak negatifnya semakin mudahnya tersebar berita-berita yang belum tentu kebenarannya seperti hoax seperti itu. Terima kasih.
Oh, very good. Bagus semua. So semua dah faham. Saya rasa semua faham lah tentang impact globalisasi kan. But let me I'll go back to my sharing so saya berkongsi lah impact dia dari segi apa yang saya dah baca dan also apa yang pendidikan saya sendiri and all that. Let me just go to that one.
Excuse me, ini ada satu lagi yang mau memberikan.
Fantastic. Saya nak dengar. Yes, saya nak dengar. Siapa lagi? Kalau semua dah bagi pandangan lagi bagus, Miss Vidya. Tapi mereka segan sangat. Come, yes. Tepuk tangan. Yes, thank you. Siapa ni? Yes.
Okay, Professor Paul, I will deliver my opinion. I think globalization has two effects. One effect is positive and other side is negative effect.
Yes.
First, positive effect is that it helps students to get more information about education, about information they learn when in school. And the negative effect is that it make lower their support or motivate to learning, use critical thinking, and that decrease their creative. So I think that is the negative effect from globalization. Enough. Thank you, Professor.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. I think what was her name again? Sari. Is it Miss Sari? Is it? Okay. She made a very important statement just now. Yeah. Okay. She agrees with the positive part. I like the part when she says that's the negative impact is that sometimes because of technology, right? Students sometimes do not have a higher or deeper level of thinking because they just depend on the internet or depend on computers. Totally agree, because the current debate right now, I think all of you have heard of ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, right? You've heard of that, right? There's a big debate now because many students are doing their homework using ChatGPT. If you haven't tried ChatGPT, you'll be surprised how it can answer your question. So now a teacher will, what she said is so correct, you know. I think she's thinking about this AI. You give the student a question, they go back, they put into ChatGPT, 2 pages of assignment is completed. They don't have to think. It's just come out already, 2 pages. Do you know that there is 2 books, I think 2 or 3 books, in Amazon.com being sold for $2 American dollar, being sold. Each book is about 40 pages. The person who wrote this book, he said he wrote this book, say that he didn't write a single word. The 40 pages came from ChatGPT. Okay, so I agree with just now that student, yes, we as teachers must be careful. When we embrace technology, we must be careful how we educate our students to use it wisely, so that while using technology, deep learning also happen and not this copying through ChatGPT. So thank you very much for your opinion. Exactly what I was thinking actually, that we have to be careful with the technology, and you can access ChatGPT anywhere, anyway. You can download anytime. If you haven't, you'll be amazed. Okay, you should try it. You can ask him to write 40 pages. The book is sold for $2 American, and he said that I never wrote a word. It's all from ChatGPT. He's just trying to show you how amazing and how people can cheat nowadays. So be careful. Okay, so all right, let's go back to my slide. Come on, it's going back already. Next, sorry. Next, this one. I want to sort of like, you know, conclude with this aspect. We talk a lot about globalization, and a lot of people now also talk about global education. You know, it's not something. Ini bukan satu kursus. Ini bukan satu kursus di mana ada satu program untuk kita diajar apa dia global education. No, right? It's a buzzword. What do you know? So global education, what does it mean? It means that students will learn and try to take actions that may promote changes within their immediate environment first, and then around the world. Okay, that's global education. Okay, global education embrace knowledge about global issues and cultural differences. How global education means, how do we prepare the students to have critical thinking skills? How do we prepare them to analyze and propose solutions? Right? Because it doesn't happen just today I teach them, tomorrow forget. No, it's long term. See the word long term. It is about putting the 4 C's, knowledge, and the skills to work in order to make your immediate place and the environment a much better place. Through what? Through values, through compassion, through openness, and through the different ways of how we can think, which we can enrich and complement everyday living. That's global education. And that's how sustainability come about, right? How do we make our place a better place through values, through empathy, through compassion, through openness, through ways of thinking for everyday living. Everyday living is not today and then that's it, right? It's a long-term thing, okay? Global education also is one that incorporates learning about cultures, about geography, about history, about current issues. So it's not a program, it's a multidisciplinary. It's a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary kind of thing, right? Global education emphasizes interconnectedness, just like the video we saw. And it also understands the diversity of people and history. Okay, global education needs to develop the student skills to engage not just with your friends sitting next to you, but with their global peers. And also it needs to highlight actions that students can take as the word citizens of the world. It is a lens, that can be applied to all disciplines, all grade levels, from primary, preschool, primary, right up to tertiary and to the broader community. So that's global education. It is not a course that you can learn, right? It's something that you need to develop to be able to function in this current world. So why do global education matter? Why does it matter? Because you want to enhance the life of our students. We want to develop the students' self-awareness of their own identity, their culture, their beliefs. And how can this all connect with the wider world, right? We want to share our culture and belief with another people in another country. At the same time, we want to accept their culture also, to understand their culture also, right? We want students to develop social awareness about values, about empathy, about appreciating diversity, about respecting others, about possessing relationship, building skills. It's like to say, I always tell my students in the class, like when we do cooperative learning, you might be enemy, you're not friends, but when you come to the classroom and you have to do your assignment together, you have to respect each other. I might be your enemy outside because I don't agree about something, but when we come together to work as a team, we need to be able to tolerate, right? Diverse individuals, personality and perspectives. That is maturity, right? That's maturity. It's not easy. It's not easy. We all have our own cultures, and then suddenly a new culture comes in that looks at it differently. How do we understand that? How do we respect others? How do we appreciate diversity? That's what teachers should be doing, in terms of sustaining everyday living. Okay, we need to help students develop their attitudes, their values, which will enable them to actually work together to bring about change and then to take control of their own living. As teachers, we need to help promote the skills, the value and knowledge that is so important to each of our students' development. How do we do that? We as teachers need to be able to engage them with social issues. We need to help them build self-esteem. We need to help them build compassion. We need to empower them to become active citizens. Like we need to trust our students that they do have their own experiences to share also. I think as teachers, I always feel that as teacher, educator, I always tell my pre-service students, don't go into the classroom like you think you know the whole world things, like you are better than them. No, actually they know things that you do not know. I enjoy learning from young people so much, to tell you the truth. I enjoy listening to young people so much. That's why I would like to hear your opinion. I so enjoy your perspective. I so enjoy your opinion, because that is where I'm learning, learning from you, the young people. You are the next generation that I'm going to learn, even though I'm sudah tua-tua, but I just so enjoy learning from the young people. Okay. Why again? Why do global education matter? Because we want the students, we want to prepare them towards a more holistic development, right? We want to turn our classroom into global learning classrooms. Okay, global learning. We want them. It's not something that is nice to have or optional. No, we want them to be able to understand that global education is real, and that we will not take you for granted. We want to expose you to real life situation. Students love to listen to real life situations. Always remember that. Okay, then of course there is now an increasing demand and interest in global education. Okay, teachers are now need to take the initiative to address current issues in a classroom. I always tell my students, whatever you teach, even something as boring as history, even as my students last time always say history is the most boring subject. I say I like history. I am the museum, I'm the museum negara volunteer because I enjoy history. History is not a dead subject. My student always call history satu subject yang sudah mati. They always call history a dead subject because they say they are learning about people who died already. Mengapa kita nak belajar tentang orang yang sudah mati? They always tell me, which is so wrong. I love history. So how do we make history current to them? So many ways. How do we make history relevant to them? We always forget that because of history, that's what's happening now. So we don't teach history like from the textbook. We teach history by relating, relate history to now. Then it becomes very fun. Mathematics. Why mathematics? What is so relevant about mathematics? Why do we need to learn about this differentiation? Relate to them that because of this, you get people who can invent rockets to the moon or something. Right? Relate to current affairs so that they can find the subject fun and interesting. Okay? Now, I think so far we always talk about, yes, global education is important. But now let's talk about what do critics have to say about global education. There are people now, it's very debated right now, that there are some criticism from some educationalists, people from the languages, people from the geography. They are now criticizing. They are asking. Now, this one you listen carefully to me because I want you to think also. I want you to think about whether sama ada kritikan ini betul atau tidak. I want you to think deeply. Is this criticism true? If it's true, what can you do about it? Okay, one, the educationists, the people who are criticizing, saying it, they are asking, what is the real target behind global education? They're asking, is global education like a carrier? Okay, macam a carrier of the social and cultural projects of the West. Is global education coming from the West? Is it they are In other words, will it reproduce power relationships and create dominance over the world through propagating or encouraging the adoption of other values, meaning the Western value at schools? They're asking that. Like when we teach about experiential learning or problem-based learning, it comes from the West. Comes from the West. So these educationists are saying, is this done on purpose? You know, is this done on purpose? Is the West trying to dominate me? That's what they are talking about, this global education. You talk about you need to have experiential learning. It's coming from the West, doing things differently now. Okay? And then they're also saying that, is it a tool? You know, is global education a tool to spread global values in students who have not even themselves identified themselves about themselves? They don't even know about themselves, but now you're going to learn another value. Okay, so educationists are asking, is it manipulative? Are they manipulating other cultures? Are they trying to homogenize, make all the same, the nations? Are they trying to suppress differences? And this is what the educationists are saying. Is this global education a propaganda? Okay, so think about that. Now, some also have said that, some have seen that the application of the concept of global education, although can be of great importance to enhance learning, because global issues are also related to students' daily life, right? But others are saying that true, global education is important. But why? They're asking why? Why must you put global education in language? Why must you put it in history? Why must you put global education in mathematics? Why must you put global education in sciences? Why not just leave it to moral studies or leave it to like you have a civic education, right? Just put global education in civic education. Just put global education in sociology, enough. No need to put into pedagogy, no need to put into anthropology, no need, just put into this subject, enough. They're saying that. Why? Because they say that if you want to integrate global education in every subject, they are worried, will local cultures be endangered? Because we are inviting people from different nationalities, identities, ethnicities to join global citizenship, to embrace global citizenship philosophy. Will it destroy the local culture or not? Will it dilute the local culture? That's the question the critics are asking. Will us, your country and my country, we want global education. We want our students to do this, do that, because we need them to be ready for globalization. But will it be destroying local cultures? And that is the criticism. So I want your thoughts, actually. Do you think that's happening? Do you think, like just now, all three of them gave the almost similar opinion, and the third one gave about negative. But is that true or not? Now, students use the technology so greatly, and they're so influenced by TikTok, they're so influenced by Instagram, and it's not your culture. So what these critics are saying is, are we slowly immersing the whole world into one similar culture and destroying the local culture? So that is actually, to me, that is really food for thought. Are we imposing, you know, is the dominant, excuse me, is the dominant world imposing their models of teaching to us? You know, are they imposing their ideas about educational thoughts and practices to us? Are they imposing the Western values to us? You know, so the critics are asking, is global education invented to legitimize Western dominance? That's something we need to ask ourselves, isn't it? Are the wealthy countries trying to impose their values on other nations through global education in the guise of the word, oh, we need sustainability, you know, we need to be a global citizen? So I want you to think about that. Okay, of course, we won't have time to share, but it's something worth thinking. So if you think that is true, so if you think that is true, that you as teacher, when you go to your classroom, this is for you to think. I think lectures like this is not just to get info, it's for you to think. You're going to your classroom next time. Okay? You're going to your classroom and you're going to use models of teaching that is effective, that has been researched to be effective, like problem solving methods, like experiential learning, inquiry learning. But when you do that, you're actually using methods that has been created by another nation, and they're asking you to be open, they're asking you to change your mindset. So you think, how do you then teach using those effective models, yet maintain your values, your local values, yet maintain your local culture, you know, yet recognize that there is no single superior model of education, but you want to use them, but yet you want to be able to use your own ideology, you know, your own way to approach education that is relevant to your country, to your student, to your people. Okay, so I want you to think as teachers next time, when you are doing it, when you're using these effective models of teaching, how do you integrate your own values into your own teaching? We don't want to lose our cultures. We don't want to lose our values. Okay, so these are criticism by which I think is relevant. Okay, we need to have two sides to a coin, right? We need to be thinking people also. Yeah. So I want your thoughts, but maybe we won't have time to share your thoughts, but I want you to think about it. Maybe tomorrow you will give me your thoughts. Okay. So the buzzword now, of course, is global citizens. Okay, global citizens must be aware and concerned with what's happening. Global citizen needs to develop a voice. You need to also come global education means come global citizen. You need to be able to develop your voice. You need to promote your own social, economic justice for you and your own country, right? If something is not right in if other nations or other cultures are trying to dominate you, then you need to have your own voice to say that, look, my country adopts this way, right? Global citizen must also inspire, inform teachers and parents that we want the students to have their own mind, their own thinking, okay? And importantly, global citizen nurtures teaching, learning, and a lifestyle that supports sustainability. That one is for tomorrow. Globalization, global education, you as a global citizen must nurture teaching, learning, and have a lifestyle that can support sustainability. Okay, that is the ultimate sustainability. So tomorrow we will look at what is sustainability. Yeah, we will look a little bit about what is sustainability. We look at how you can be a sustainable teacher and how we can help our students to be sustainable learners. All right. So My next slide is just to say thank you, and I would like to share about what we discussed. But of course, I want you to think about it. Maybe tomorrow we will share. I think tomorrow what we'll do is I'm going to start off with the part on the criticism as a global citizen, global education one. You know, do you agree with me or not? Give you time to think today, afterwards. Give you time to think. Is it correct or not? I mean, global education is good because we need to nurture teaching and learning for sustainability, yes, but does it dilute? Does it dilute and dissolve our own way of living? Does it dilute and dissolve our culture? See, that's for you tomorrow to think. So tomorrow, I hope more of you will share your thoughts. Okay, more of you will share your thoughts. I do have some multiple choice questions for you to answer, but I think it's okay. We don't need to do that one. Tomorrow, we'll start off with you sharing your thoughts about what we did today. Then we'll follow on to sustainability, and then maybe do some multiple choice questions, just for fun. Okay? So before we end, Ms. Vidya, do you have anything to say? Or would the students have anything they want to say?
Yeah, maybe Mr. Gong, we can open a question and answer
Sure.
first.
Yes,
Maybe
I would like to.
I think 15 minutes we can discuss about this suspension.
Anyone
Okay,
out there?
all right, student. Okay, we will move to question and answer. If you want to question, can you raise hand and please say your name first and then your question. Silakan.
Okay, what I can,
Apabila
yes,
ada
ada.
yang ingin bertanya, ada di teman-teman. Oh ya, ada. Mas Ilham bisa maju ke depan, kenalkan diri dulu dan bisa disampaikan pertanyaannya.
Come forward, yes, I can see who you are. Ke depan sikit, tampil ke depan sikit. Supaya boleh nampak muka. Very good. Okay, apa soalan dia?
Soalannya apa?
Hello, Miss.
Pelan-pelan.
Introduce. My name is Ilham Zakaria.
Zakaria, yes.
Yes. Di sini I'm have a problem for my experience for observasi in one school in my area.
Okay.
Di sana, I found teknologi progress atau kemajuan teknologi not balance dengan ability to use, kemampuan untuk menggunakannya, because the teacher are old. Nah, di situ bagaimana pendapat Miss Pauline
Yes.
mengenai hal tersebut, and what's a solution for the problem? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Zakaria. So what Zakaria is asking is, in his school, right? In his school, he sees that some inequality lah, kan? There's some inequality, right? Is he asking me that some are good at it and some are not good at it? Is that what he's asking? Or is he asking that some teachers know how to use, some teachers don't know how to use? Is that correct, Ms. Vidya? Did he ask that?
Yeah, correct. Let's go.
Okay, you see, Zakaria, that's what macam awak-awak kita kata, you know, in globalization not necessary in the world, even in your school pun ada issue globalization, right? Like you say your school, some of them are good at the technology, some of them not good at technology. Why? Because there's inequality. Basically, number one, those who are quite good may have parents who can afford to buy the equipment or send them for learning out of school. Those who are not so privileged do not have that exposure. Okay, so well, to solve that problem is basically the school. The school must understand where the students come from. The school must be the place to ensure that every student have equal opportunity. It is the school, okay? Equal opportunity. So when you want to have a class that uses computer, make sure that you don't ask them, bring your own computer, your own laptop. Not everybody can bring. You have to create a space for the students so that everyone can use a computer. The school is the responsible of school. For the teachers who are a little bit not very good at technology, we cannot blame them. Okay, we cannot blame them because when they started to be teachers, technology was not there yet. So now suddenly we're asking them to know this, know that, know this, know that. It can be difficult for them. And I understand that even in Malaysia, I have to say that some teachers, they cannot cope with technology. They bersara, they retire earlier because they cannot cope. Everything now is technology. So I guess that again comes back to the school leadership. The school leadership, right? If the school leadership is progressive and transformative and innovative, would have known that this teacher needs help. These few teachers needs help. So what do we need to do? We cannot leave them alone. Send them for some sort of reskilling. So to your question, about how to solve this, I think it all comes back to the school leadership. Whether the principal, the ketua is transformative or not. Okay, that one. Maybe I hope that maybe one of you here, sitting here in the big hall, would become a head of school next time. Head of department. Make a difference. Make the changes. Okay, I hope I answered your question, that one. Thank you. Any more? If you have any other question, tomorrow you can always ask also. Okay, don't worry.
Thank you, Ms. Go.
Thank you.
Maybe one question just now because this went up. Dan tadi teman-teman, hari ini kita sudah mendapatkan banyak substansi tambahan yang saya kira juga sangat penting ya untuk kita semua, khususnya untuk kita sebagai ke depan menjadi tenaga pendidik atau guru, dan kita sebagai seorang pembelajar ya. Jadi tadi Ms. Go sudah menyampaikan banyak hal terkait dengan bagaimana pentingnya kita untuk terus how to be a sustainable teacher and the learning. Dan kenapa kemudian pendidikan ini juga dipilih untuk menjadi salah satu program pembangunan berkelanjutan, ya karena dalam pendidikan ini menjadi instrumen yang cukup kuat dan efektif ya untuk melakukan komunikasi, untuk memberikan informasi, untuk menyadarkan kita sebagai pembelajar ataupun para peserta didik sendiri untuk terus memobilisasi massa misalkan ya dalam gerakan ke arah yang lebih baik gitu. Dan di sini kita juga tadi sudah mendapatkan kalau tadi Ms. Go juga mengutip Amartya Sen ya terkait dengan bagaimana alam pemikirannya. Charles Darwin pun juga mengatakan bahwa untuk menghadapi misal mungkin relate dengan kondisi global saat ini ya. Charles Darwin mengatakan bukan yang paling kuat, bukan yang paling pintar yang bisa bertahan hidup. Yang paling bisa bertahan hidup adalah mereka yang mampu beradaptasi dengan perubahan. Demikian pun kita sebagai seorang pendidik di masa depan, kita juga harus tadi ya seperti yang disampaikan oleh Ms. Go bahwa kita harus tahu bagaimana arah dari global education ini sendiri dengan pendekatan teknologi dan juga SDGs, sehingga kita mampu menjadi become a global citizenship sendiri gitu. Jadi karena perkembangan teknologi mungkin kita bisa mendapatkan banyak pembelajaran dari negara manapun. Termasuk agenda hari ini kita belajar banyak juga dari Ms. Go terkait dengan bagaimana edukasi yang ada di Malaysia, di Indonesia. Jadi kita bisa belajar dari berbagai macam negara. tetapi juga dengan pendekatan teknologi mungkin akan mempengaruhi beberapa hal, misalkan culture dan lain sebagainya. Gitu. Jadi kita harus pandai-pandai dan juga bijaksana dalam menggunakan teknologi, dan sehingga tadi di poin terakhir di bahan tayangnya Miss Goh disampaikan bahwa important global citizen untuk teaching, learning, and the lifestyle itu adalah sesuatu hal yang menjadi pembelajaran baik kita pada bagian ini. Dan mungkin besok ya Miss Goh, kita akan berjumpa lagi dan akan sangat senang sekali mendengarkan paparan dari Miss Goh terkait dengan banyak hal. Tadi saya juga banyak mencatat poin-poin penting dari bahan tayang Miss Goh, sehingga mungkin dari Miss Goh sendiri ada closing statement yang ingin disampaikan sebelum nanti acara bisa kita akhiri. Saya persilahkan.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think it's not goodbye yet. Tomorrow we're going to see each other again. So I just want everyone to give it some thought about what we did today. Give it some thought. And tomorrow we'll continue. I hope to hear more of your thoughts. And tomorrow we look at another very important concept called sustainability. But it's not a goodbye yet. So I'll leave my goodbye message for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Miss Goh.
Thank you, Miss Pia. Thank you for organizing this, and thank you to everyone sitting there. Just I can't see you very clearly, but just now when you came to the front, I really can see you. That's really good.
Okay, thank you very much.
See you tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you,
Dr. Ka. Thank you, Dr. Ka, for today. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Hi. Oh, you're still there.
I'm still here. Thank you for today. See you tomorrow, right?
No problem. See you tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow.
Bye for now.
Tomorrow you can direct it. There is no opening ceremony again. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go directly already. Okay. Thank you very much for today.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye all.
Bye, Miss Goh. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Oke, terima kasih para mahasiswa.